Shroud University, this is Russ Brial bringing you another discussion on the Shroud of Turin, the greatest mystery of the known world. What I want to do today is to provide a Shroud update. Terry asked for me to do that. We just had there was a major Shroud conference at the Ohio State University back in August. About 30 different papers were presented on many aspects of science and history and things like that. So there's a few highlights that I want to bring to you from that conference. But beyond that, we're going to do an overview. We're going to look at some other resurrection proofs, and which I think is real important, and then some of the latest research and some new insights that I didn't share with you last time. So I want to go to the first slide here. Now, this is an artist representation. This is about 400 years ago, where an artist painted this scene. And now, for some of you, you're to the uninitiated, the shroud, meaning a linen cloth that has wrapped a corpse. Okay, the Shroud of Turin, Italy, where it has been kept for the past 400 years, ever since 1578. Now, this picture has two scenes. You've seen one down below with Jesus wrapped lengthwise in this long linen cloth with the head placed at the center, the full weight of the body here, and then the top of the cloth draped over him this way. And then you see up here, you see scene two double images, a front image of a man and a dorsal image of a man. So let's go to the next slide. If you were to see the shroud for yourself in Turin, and you can do that in 2010, it'll be on exhibit again, probably April and May of that year. Nice opportunity to plan a trip to Italy, start off in Rome and end up in Turin. And it's on your left is the front image of a man. And you'll just show this here. You see looking this way to the left. You see horizontal. You see the hair, the face. You see the arms here, the hands, see the legs, and blood down here. Then again, at the center of the cloth, and looking to your right, you see the back of the head, the back. Here's blood across the small of the back. Here's the back of the legs. Here's feet down here at the very right. So let me make this easier for you to see. We'll turn it vertical. And we're just going to look at the front portion here. And just so now here again, we see an image of a man with long hair and blood all over the head. We see a side wound here with blood flowing down from it. We see arms. We see the hands here, nail wound in the wrist. Blood on the arms here and here. Here are the legs, and here's blood down here by the feet. Now there's some other markings that you need to be aware of. The shroud was on a fire in 1532. It was kept in a silver box, and the top of the box melted, and a big glob of molten silver fell down onto the shroud, and the way that the shroud was folded, it created a series of 8 burns and patches. And so now we're seeing this is one of those burns, and these are patches from where it was patched up from behind in 1534. And these are scorch marks from that same fire incident. So there's 8 burns and patches on this side, and there's 4 more on the other side where the dorsal image is. And then there's also, it was doused with water, and so we see a pattern of water stains here. It's a water stain over by the knees. There's another water stain on the chest here. And so just so you understand, kind of basically, there's a lot of stuff on here, but obviously the main event is the image of the man, and could the image be the image of Jesus of Nazareth? Now, do you look at the dorsal image, and you'll see the top of the head, the back of the head. There's just massive wounds and contusions from something, most likely the crown of thorns. And here we see a scourging all over the back, crisscrossing the back in 2 directions. Here's blood across the back. This is post-mortem blood flow that flowed after death. And then you see the legs are pocked up with scourge marks. The right leg is elevated above the left leg, and you see here the right. This is the right heel that's elevated, and then you see the left foot planted firmly against the cloth with 2 exit wounds for 2 different nails. And so now you begin to say, well, no wonder this has intrigued so many millions of people over the centuries. Could this thing be the authentic burial shroud of Jesus of Nazareth? And that is the central question. When we come to the shroud, is the Shroud of Turin simply a pious fraud, the greatest fraud ever known, actually? Or is it some kind of religious artwork? Or is it the most important archaeological artifact in the world, hidden in plain sight, hidden by controversy and confusion? instead of dirt and debris, because we're debating it. We still debate it. Is it or isn't it? With lots of evidence. We have the preponderance of evidence that says that it could very well be authentic, but then you have the naysayers, and so it remains clouded with controversy. So now I think this is an interesting verse of scripture that's very important to look at. John chapter 20, verses 1 through 9. The question is, what did they see? Early Sunday morning, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb and found that the stone was rolled aside from the entrance. She ran and found Simon Peter and me and said, "They have taken the Lord's body out of the tomb, and I don't know where they've put him." Wait. They? Who's they? We're either talking either the Jews or the Romans. They have taken the Lord's body out of the tomb. Certainly not the apostles, because Mary's going to tell the apostles that the body's missing. We ran to the tomb to see. I outran Peter and got there first and stooped and looked in and saw the linen cloth lying there. But I didn't go in. Then Simon Peter arrived. He went on inside. He also noticed the cloth lying there. Then I went in too and saw and believed that he had risen. This is a very important scripture, because this tells you that that Mary kind of peeks into the tomb, sees the body's gone. Her immediate reaction is someone has stolen the body. She runs and finds Peter and John. They run to the tomb. They go inside that tomb, kind of stoop down, get through that door, and then look at this stone slab called a sepulcher, where the body would have been placed, wrapped in this long linen shroud. And I can imagine that it was probably wrapped with strips of linen around the outside of the cloth to bind the cloth to the body. Now, what did they see? I believe they saw, when they first saw this cloth, as if just the same way it was left on Friday, except the body's gone. Now, if the cloth had been rolled up and thrown into a corner somewhere, well, then you'd think the body was stolen. It was something specifically about the way that the shroud was left on the sepulcher, body in it, body gone. And and I think that's what they saw initially. But wait a minute, there's an interesting clue from the Mozarabic rite of Holy Week. Now, this is a sect of Arab Catholics that came to Spain in the 4th and 5th century. They have a liturgy where they translate this same verse of Scripture in a very unique way. Now, bear in mind, this is 1,500 years ago. This is how their liturgy reads. Peter ran with John to the tomb and saw the recent imprints of the dead and risen man on the linens. Well, now that's real interesting. Now, I don't think that's what they initially saw. I think the imprints became understandable later, maybe a week, a month, a year, whenever they decided to really open up that shroud and see what was there. But the point is how long does this go back? We know it goes back at least 1,500 years. Does it go back to 1st century? This idea that this linen shroud of Jesus bore imprints of the resurrection? The resurrection is the centerpiece of the Christian faith, without question. Paul writes, he says, if Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith. He goes on and says, if Christ has not been raised, your faith is futile. The resurrection is central to Christianity. Now, the question is the shroud proof? Can the shroud be considered proof of the resurrection? And the answer is no, it can't be. Not scientifically, at least. Because we can never, we can't match up the DNA from the shroud with the DNA of Jesus. We just don't have it. Okay? But you can build a really strong case legally, the legal definition of evidence. You could probably build a really good case for the authenticity of the shroud. But we can't prove it scientifically, so the question is, why study it? Well, because it's just a great mystery. You don't get any better than the shroud. And it could be authentic. And if we could ever finally get to the place with science where we really could authenticate it, the possibility would be staggering. And for that reason alone, we cannot just casually dismiss it and pretend like it doesn't matter. It is significant, and we need to stay focused on it.